Hello, I'm Tim Beggins, president of Elk Trading Company. In today's natural gas weekly recap, natural gas prices are up. Natural gas for September, the spot contract currently trading at 294 and a half, up 10.4 cents or 3.66%. As you can see here from the daily chart on barchart.com, we're right here at that 9-day exponential moving average with 294. So we're just above that. We'll look to see if it can close above that and kick us higher toward the 21-day moving average, which would be at 307.10. But this is coming on the heels of a late summer heat wave. Let's take a look at the hourly chart. And here we are. We're above the third resistance level for the daily pivots, which came in right at 294.90. 294.90. Hard to say that today. So we are holding right there. We got as high as 295.80. Well, let's see if this holds as potential resistance. As you can see way back here, we did have an oversold condition. Now we have potentially an overbought condition. Can you imagine that, saying it? But let's take a look at what happened yesterday. Storage came in at plus 56, around expectations of plus 55. And you can see here the salt dome actually pulled a little bit, just 1 BCF. They are optimizing as much as they can. They're in good position. Everybody's okay except for the East, Midwest, and Mountain, which are still a little bit below last year. Only 2.4% total below last year. We're now 6.6% above the 5-year average. And here's why we're bouncing a little bit higher, because Monday, look at this. We've got extreme heat risk for over 10 million people, mainly between Chicago and St. Louis. And we've got at least another 32 million people in major heat risk at this stage. So that's a lot of people for Monday, and that's why prices are popping today. Let's see what the front to back spreads are doing. Well, because the front of the board is rallying, the back of the board has actually been kind of weak, as we've got forecasts for winter to talk about. And here we are looking at the Jan versus the October spread, currently right now trading at 119.80, down 3.9 cents or over 3.15%. We're right at that 120 critical support level. If we fall below this, it's down to 109.40. And right here, you can see that's a pretty far ways to go at this stage. And let's look at that Dece versus November. Same problem here. We topped out around 63 cents. We're right now through support here at 53 and a half. We need to hold 50.8 at this stage, which would be a nice retracement. But let's see what happens here with this heat next week. And the tropics. The tropics are also firing up. We've got a system right now off the coast of Mexico slash Texas, and this is a 50% chance of developing into a cyclone today. It may reach tropical depression status before it comes onshore, and it is looking pretty good to bring some wet weather possibly toward San Antonio, all the way back toward Big Bend and El Paso. As you can see, it is firing up on the satellites as it's approaching land. So let's look at the model tracks. And here it is, coming onshore, just basically around Brownsville. That's the border town between US and Mexico. And then moving towards San Antonio. This is Big Bend here, and El Paso's all the way back here. This is an area where we're going to need some rain. And let's take a look at Tropical Storm Erin. She's about to hit hurricane status later today, and she's going to be moving north as she becomes a major hurricane as she approaches the northern side of Puerto Rico, and then hopefully bends between the U.S. East Coast and Bermuda, which is right here. And you can see the model forecasts are all bending that storm, which will be a hurricane, and it may reach all the way up to Cat 3. This is bending back toward the northeast, away from land. That's good news. And here's the reason why, because the water temperatures are really, really warm. As you can see, she's going to be hitting some 83 to 84 degree temperatures. This is Bermuda all the way up here. She's going to be bending at this point and hopefully heading out to sea and slowly weakening as she approaches cooler and cooler weather. And look at this. Here's our Saharan air layer. And we had that big wave all the way into Central America. And another big slug of it is coming off the coast of Africa. Here's Erin. Take a look at this. she's actually been pulling dust into her storm system, which is probably inhibiting some development. But she's going to try and skate ahead of this slug of Saharan air layer and get around the northern side of Puerto Rico and head back up the east coast. Let's take a look at the drought monitor. As you can see, this is the area where this system that may become a depression later today is going to be heading toward. It can use some rain. All this area here potentially is really in drought conditions. Hopefully we'll get some relief. And let's take a look at the ENSO forecast. This came out just the other day. And as you can see here, we now are looking at a La Nina-like conditions, weak La Nina-like conditions for September, October, November. And then what happens? It's neutral, ENSO neutral phase. What does this mean? Typically, this is like 2015, 2016 winter, as well as 2017, 2018, weak La Nina, and then ENSO neutral. These were warmer than normal winters. And let's look at our stocks. These are our stocks in the E&P oil and gas sector, and market cap between $2 and $10 billion with a high short float. As you can see, they're up a little bit today. CRK up 2.57 for the week, and this is Apache up 2.5 as well. The rest of them are kind of just muddying around. So recapping here, September is now trading $294.40, up 10.3 cents or 3.66%. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks for listening. We'll see you soon.